Hey, Genki Call here with your campaign tasks, your Khetar week, what you can get with your event keys, events for the week, all of that stuff coming to you right now. We have started a brand new campaign, which means new heroic gems, the gargoyle gems. I just put out a tutorial on that, and you will find a link to that video at the end of this video. There will be a thumbnail for you can click on. But let's go over the campaign tasks. So, the Hellcrag Monument. First task for gold. Use a Khetar team for 22 wins and use the Undead banner for 22 wins. For silver, complete 3 delves at level 20 plus, win 6 battles in a single arena run, craft 3 purple summoning stones, and earn 400 souls in battle. For bronze, open 2 event chests, open 5 gem chests, kill Ankh-Noom 1 time, match 90 skull gems in battle, get 9 undead kills, complete 1 adventure board, get 13 purple kills, use a scythe weapon for 4 wins, use the necromancer class for 4 wins, and explore Khetar 1 time at difficulty 1 plus. It's the first week of a new campaign, nothing too bad in here. You can go ahead and do the dungeon if you want, just wait a little bit on the adventure board unless you plan to skip that. Also, I have some really amazing information here that was obtained from Hawx, as in Hawks and Gary. Oh, look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, it's hard to see. You'll have to kind of zoom in here, I think. I will put a link to this in the description below, as well as a link to the um, campaign tasks I was just showing you. But look, this shows all of the rewards for every single week, and if you scroll all the way down, you can see at a glance what your positives are for completing each week's task. So we're going to get armor, and then magic, and then health, and so on and so forth. And you can see it all right here, created by Hawx. Thank you, Hawx, you rock. Oh, so much work. Anyway, let's go back into the game, and I will show you what we can get with yes, free stuff. Yay. Not free stuff till Sunday. Sorry. Your Khetar. I always lose it. Khetar. Before we do that, let's go in here so I can show you that this week beasts get plus 10% to all of their skills, and the undead get 10% plus. So an undead beast such as the corpse mare would get, I'm assuming it's undead beast anyway, would get plus 20% to their skills because it does stack. Also, let's go in here because I tend to forget this stuff. On Tuesday, we have the faction assault at Fangmoor. Wednesday, we have the Shrink's Pet Rescue. Thursday, we have the class trial for Necromancer. And this weekend, we have Raid Boss. Raid Boss coming up again. Okay, and I'll put a thumbnail for Raid Boss information if you're not familiar with how that works. I did a tutorial on that. So, right, Khetar. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited about Khetar because we're going to be able to get it up to power level 21 today. Whee! If you have the ability to do that, if you've done all of the tasks. So, instead of going in first and showing you what to get with your, or what you can get with your event keys, I want to do a twofer here. I'm going to go in and I'm going to, whoops, click on the wrong button as I always do. Go into the shop, go into resources, spoils of war, get all of these that you can. That's a quantity of 10. This is a fantastic deal for event keys, and every event key is a chance at a mythic. So definitely recommend doing that. Then go into the weekly event and grab the troop of the week, the glory troop of the week. If you can, I recommend getting this all the way up to mythic level. You may not need it right now, but at some point you will have to have, oops, wow, 41 of them. You will have to have all of your troops up to mythic, ascended to mythic, to get them to level 20 for your power levels. You won't for a while if you're lower level, but the sooner you start collecting extras of these troops, the sooner you'll be able to get your power levels done when the time comes. So if you can swing it, plus you'll get all of these other resources. The arcanes are really valuable when you're lower level. And I have to sneeze. Oh my goodness, hold on a second. I seem to have lost it. Bummer. All right, so as far as this troop and what it does, deal damage to an enemy. If the enemy is undead, do double damage, and if the enemy dies, create 8 skulls. This could be good. It could be good for this week event because if we can use it, I haven't looked yet. But I do know that the badges and medals for the weekly event or the world event are for skulls only. I haven't verified that, but that is what I was told. So, as far as traits, all enemies lose 2 random skill points, nothing special. Undying, it is immune to poison, disease, lycanthropy, and death mark. And summon an ice storm when an enemy dies. That's an interesting choice for a vulture, basically. An undead vulture. Summon an ice storm. Huh. Alright, well, that's what we've got. Let me grab this. Ha ha ha! Got that. Alright, now let's head into Khetar and I'll show you what you can get with your event keys. So, first thing I'm going to do is sort by base rarity. And I have everything, I'm sure of it. I am sure of it. I do. Okay, so the mythics that you can get are Pharaoh Nefertani and Pharaoh's Ra. Undoubtedly, the better of the two is Pharaoh's Ra for multiple reasons. Transform yellow gems to purple, so he's a mana converter, does damage to an enemy boosted by souls, and this should say get 20 souls, not give. You're not giving them up, you're getting 20 souls. And you gain 150% bonus souls from battle. This is the best troop to have for soul farming in the game. But he's a mythic, so he's hard to get. I myself did not get him for 2 years after I started the game. And I didn't have any problems getting souls. It's much easier to get souls now with Nomapaloozas and Vault Keys. It changed the economy of the game when the Nomapaloozas came into the game, so he's not as valuable as he used to be, but still a very good troop if you want to soul farm. And then he's also got the Undying trait and Allied Undead, blah blah blah. Now, Pharaoh Nefertani, she does damage to an enemy boosted by death-marked enemies and curses and diseases all enemies. Now, she has this wonderful third trait, death mark a random enemy when when matching 4+ gems. That sounds great, right? Except that every time you get a match 4+, it's going to inflict this death mark to a random enemy. If it hits one that's already death marked, it resets the timer. The first turn with the death mark, it will not work. It doesn't go into effect until it comes back again. And so you're resetting the timer, meaning the death mark is never going to work if you keep making match 4s. And it's a 10% chance to die each turn. We know how this goes. It always happens when we are death marked, but and she does have the necromancy trait as well, so but there are much lower rarity troops that have necromancy trait. Onknoom. Onknoom, I like this troop actually quite a bit. He does damage to all enemies, boosted by cursed enemies, and for every cursed enemy, give a barrier to a random ally. He does have a 25% chance to curse a random enemy when the turn begins, which I would rather have seen that on match 4s, like some of the other troops, but you don't have to get match 4s, it'll be just a 25% chance period. But I do like this troop. I like using him in delves because, of course, this number goes up quite a bit when you have the boost from the Horde. Bone Dragon. Bone Dragon. Eliminate up to 25 armor from an enemy. Create 9 skulls boosted by armor eliminated and gain armor. So he can create so many skulls on the board that he just floods the whole board. He's actually, when you fight him, he can be pretty dangerous. I generally don't use him, but he has kicked my rump more than once. Um, and then inflict frozen when enemies deal skull damage to me, which is kind of useless. He has no skull damage reduction, so unless his skulls backfire and he ends up at the front, then it's kind of useless trait. You will not be able to get Chief Dargon. Bum, bum, bum. Let's look for the others here. Shaman of Set, Satori, or Horned Asp. These four troops are from Fangmore, the faction where we are going tomorrow, and can only be obtained with Chaos Shards at Fangmore. So let's go back to the ones you can get. Keeper of Souls. Ah, Keeper of Souls. He doesn't sound like he's that useful, but transform all gems of whatever color you want to skulls. So you can create a 5 match with skulls or doom skulls, because you can combine doom skulls, uber doom skulls, and skulls, of course. Um, he's actually a really nice way to loop with skulls. He's also undying. He's a necromancer, and he has a 50% chance to summon a white, which is okay. When an enemy dies. Alistair, you will get this guy just from completing the storyline here at Khetar. He's okay. You know, he's an okay epic. However, he does do double skull damage versus undead, which is a nice trait to have, of course. He does have a little bit of skull damage reduction, a little bit, so it'd be okay to run him at the front. Enquête does damage to an enemy. This is one of our siege breakers. So that means that he'll do 3 to 5 times damage to towers. That includes Leonis Tower if you happen to be fighting him or fighting it in PvP. Da-dum-da! Apophysis. Oh, yes. The empowered mana converters that create skulls. Green gems to skulls give life to the first ally. These troops are really useful when you've got something up at the front of the team that's going to do bonus damage, like Web Spinner that'll do triple skull damage as long as they're webbed, which it webs when it hits them. Or Umanath, who will place a hunter's mark when she does skull damage. You know, it's a really good troop to have. So if you pull her, she's going to be very, very helpful for you, provided that you like to use skulls, of course. Xeris. Now, I have never really found the appeal of Xeris. Transformed a single mana gem into a skull. And if there are 13 or more purple gems, gain 6 mana. Why? I know that people like this troop. I just don't know why. Sure, you can create a 4 match, but why would you use this instead of Keeper of Souls? I haven't found the appeal. I know that it's there for people, but I don't really understand why, except that he's lower rarity, of course, and he's a necromancer, so that means, gain bonus purple mana from purple gem matches, that's why. So every time you match 3 purple gems, you're actually getting 4, so this is probably why. They're probably using him for the trait. Now I get it. It helps to look at these things sometimes. Jackal the Guardian, death marks a random enemy, creates 1 to 3 blue mana potions. It's just, unless there's a ton of blue on the board, the fact that he creates 1 to 3, if he only creates 1, you're giving the enemy a chance to take control of the board with those mana potions, because the mana potions are really strong. And nothing really special here. Mortera. She is a Godslayer. She is the one that will kill your Zul'Goth, your Enraged Kurandara, your Hatir Ascendant, and your Squirrel Reborn with 1 shot. She will also kill them in return if she's on your team. And it's for raid boss as well, of course. Oh, and Zul'Goth. Did I say Zul'Goth? I meant to say Zul'Goth. Another necromancer. You're going to find a lot of necromancers here. And the class is necromancy, so go figure. Necreza summons a bone storm and an undead if you have an open slot, and dispels all positive status effects from enemies. That includes, it's like cursing them. It's going to remove all of the positive status effects, including bless. Curse won't remove bless. Well, curse will nullify bless, but anyway, I am wandering. Ha, Tutankhamun looks great on paper, but seems to be kind of useless. Curse and Death mark the strongest enemy, then destroy gems of one of their mana colors. Great, but if they, and for me that's a really high number, but if there are only three, say they're using the same colors, say they're using green and blue, and there are only three green on the board, it might choose green and you will get three mana. So if it would destroy or explode a few gems of their mana color, it would be a lot more useful. Unless you're fighting a team that is monochromatic, like a finesse team or something, it's just kind of useless. At least in my experience, I have not had any good experiences with Tutankhamun on my team. Um, it is stealthy, but eh, eh. This guy summons a fortress gate. He removes all skulls, which can be useful if you are facing a team that is going skull heavy on you. There are just too many on the board to get rid of. You're going to die. Remove all the skulls and get some extra armor to all allies. So, he's okay. I never use him, but he is something that will remove skulls. There are others that do that better, in my opinion, but that's just me. Carrion Crow. Let's get this guy upgraded. Yes. Get my extra star here. Yay! And I have plenty of those, so we'll just go ahead and do that. And I actually have plenty of souls as well. I have another 2 million sitting there waiting to be disenchanted. Ha ha! Ah, okay. So we already went over the Carrion Crow, Mummified King, Setite Warrior. Let's look at this real quickly. Damage to an enemy, death mark a random ally. Why would you ever use this? Why? Just why? Why would you want to death mark a random ally unless you're using a summoning weapon or a summoning troop? Why would you want to? Why? Just why? Okay, Setite Warrior. I love this guy. I love this guy with Rowan or this guy with the Shield of Urskaya. He's amazing. Give armor to an ally. Deal scatter damage equal to the ally's armor. So if you're using this guy, the Shield of Urskaya, he's just a really great complement to Rowan, in my opinion, and I use them together all the time, especially in delves. Da-dum-da, Tomb Knight. Don't remember this guy. Destroy, gain attack and armor. Could be useful in an event, I suppose. He does have skull damage reduction, which is nice, since, you'd want to kind of run him at the front of the team. Because of the increased attack. War Sphinx, just kind of boring. I personally would much rather use the Wisp, which will jumble the board, gain an extra turn, and charm a random enemy. So, only good for... Right. Anyway, Best Type Priestess. Green gems to purple if an ally or enemy has a death mark. Also transform yellow gems to skulls. So unless something's death marked, she's only going to transform green gems to purple. She can do a double mana convert, but she is just an ultra rare. So getting she's a lower rarity. That's why she's not quite as efficient. Do skip that. Pharaoh Hound. 8 purple and 8 red gems. This can actually be pretty useful if you are limited on your mana converters. Revenant, deal damage to the last enemy boosted by skulls, then death mark them. That can be pretty handy. The white, he does have the water link. Bonus blue mana from blue gem matches, steals life from an enemy, creates 5 purple gems, and gain some souls as well. So he's not useful. I mean, he's not useless. He's not useless. And at high levels or with a boost, he could be useful, more useful. Destroy a row, poison a random enemy for every skull destroyed. This is useful in two different ways. It could be useful. Arena is one, and the other is if you're using Scorpius and you don't have Magnum or Uriali, that kind of thing. You can get the entire team poisoned at once for Scorpius, but other than that, meh. Skeleton. The thing is about Skeleton, he's a common, right? He's a common. He creates skulls, gains armor, gains an extra turn. The extra turn makes him actually quite useful, especially if you're using him at the front of the team in Sword's Edge where everything is a knight. I learned this from, gosh, Boomstick Fancy Pants, I think it was. So running a skull spamming team um, in Sword's Edge with this troop can be very handy with that extra turn. And then the Wall of Bones, he just sits there and buffs himself. He has 0 attack, so if you, well, no, he has 0 attack in Arena. Anyway, wasted enough time going over this. Let's get my extra star, power level 21. So we can't do anything else here in Khetar till we get another troop for Khetar. Oh my gosh, I am getting blocked. I have so many. I have so many troops I need to medal at this point. Oh my gosh. But that gives us a times 4.25 tribute reward in this kingdom if you get up that high. And I think that is it for this for this very long video. I will be back with my Soul Forge and World Event video as soon as I can. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!